guys, it's Trisha's Card Club. What is it? Trisha's Card Club live from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Happy Monday night, everybody. I forgot my little spiel. And I do it every week, so I have no excuses. Thanks for joining already, Shannon and Mary. It's good to see you guys. Who else just came on? Charlene and Angela. Oh, Angela, you're back. You're back. My God, it seemed like you were gone forever. Angela had the most amazing cruise, I think, right, Angela? It was a cruise and a land, a land trip. It was amazing. Amazing. Her pictures on Facebook were incredible. Hey, Judy. Okay, so I'll give people a couple minutes to get on. Let me try to get this to come in a little bit clearer. I'm going to regret that I did that. Okay. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I have a YouTube channel and a Facebook page called Trisha's Card Club. You can shop with me online 24/7 at trishan.stampinup.net. I'm going to let you in on a secret too. I'll tell you at the end. I won't remember. I better tell you now. Stampin' Up! Is coming out with a pop-up free shipping promotion on the 11th. They just announced it. They will be announcing it tomorrow morning. It's almost always a $75 purchase, and then you get free shipping. So if you have a list of things, this is the time to get them during this free shipping period. So check out my thing. So that's that. That's the spiel about me. The other thing, oops, well, that would help if I had it going the right way, wouldn't it? Oh my gosh, Great Britain, Amsterdam. Yeah, it seemed like it was an amazing trip, Angela. Amazing, amazing trip. Okay, coming up in February of 2027, which is 8 months from now, which it seems like a long time, but you guys, it's not a long time. It's going to come by really quick. It's going to go by really fast and come real quickly. We are going to be celebrating the 5th anniversary of our annual Craft Sticks and Chocolate Gathering. It's going to be in Orlando, Florida. We have people coming from literally all over the country. It's quite exciting. And I just want to remind everybody about it so that you can save your pennies and budget for it, because I really want as many people to come as possible. We have plenty of room. We have all kinds of fun things in store for this year, different than we had last year. Some repeats, but some new things. So we're very excited about that. Registration will be in December. We will be accepting checks and cash and Venmo this year. We're going to do registration a little bit different than last year. So if you don't have Venmo, get Venmo. It's just an app. It's no big deal. It's easy as pie. It's just as easy as Zelle. So, but we will, my bank doesn't take Zelle, and Kira and I are changing up a little bit of the responsibilities this year. So get yourself Venmo. So I just wanted to put that out there. Okay. Tonight we are going to be making a card using a piece of scrap designer series paper, literally. But let me talk about some inspirations behind this. I got to do a couple things before I can actually show you guys the card. Who else has joined? Let's see. Hey, Kelly and Anne Marie and Myra. Good to see you guys. And Carrie, thank you for joining. Okay. So we're making a card based on this little scrap, this 3-inch and by 3-inch, or it might be 3 1/4. I think it's 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 inch scrap piece of paper. But let me show you something. I've been a demonstrator for many, many years, and these are all of the embossing folders that I own. I meant not to move my camera so you could see it better, so I apologize. So I have the little narrow ones that we don't really sell right now. We aren't selling this size right now. They go through the little cut and emboss machine. And then I have all the 3Ds. I have some really old ones that were Sizzix when Stampin' Up! Was selling them under the Sizzix name. I just have a lot of embossing folders. So I'm showing you this to show you, one, how nice and neat they are. Two, to tell you that it's not an overwhelming amount. But a lot of times I just literally reach in here and grab an embossing folder and use it. So that's why sometimes you see me use an embossing folder that's not available anymore, because I don't sort my stuff with what's current and what has retired when it comes to embossing folders. I very rarely sell my embossing folders, and I buy quite a few of them because I love the technique of embossing. And when I stamp with my customers, they love the technique of embossing too. So I just want to show you that I have a little bit more room left to get a few more embossing folders. And then I'll have to sell some because this has to fit within this container. So why am I showing you this? Because tonight I'm using an embossing folder that's retired, but I just want to show you that I grabbed it. So what do you do when you have a piece of scrap on your desk and you have a piece of embossed white cardstock? Because I was doing another project on a card. Can you see this? Yeah, you can see it. I was doing another project on a card and I ended up, this is an old embossing folder, which I loved, but it just didn't work out on the card that I was doing. So these were laying on my desk and I needed to come up with a card for tonight. And before tonight's video, which is live and unedited for those of you who are watching it for the first time, so it'll be full of mistakes, just laugh through them with me. I had to come up with a card idea. And so I went through and I remembered something that I received in the mail quite a long time ago. I received this beautiful card in the mail. This comes from my dear friend Judi, and it really made my day. But I love this card. Now, let me see if I can, let me see something. I'm going to try, I'm just going to turn the lights down just for a second because I want to see if you got, can you see the, she has it with the embossing folder. Can you see the embossing folder? If I shadow it, you can see it, but not shadow the, there you go. The corrugated cardboard embossing folder. Isn't this beautiful? And what I loved about this card when Judi sent it to me was, like, in a million years, I would never buy this paper because it doesn't appeal to me. But in this card, I love it. And I was like, you could do that with any of our designer series paper. So I loved this card. I love the layout of it. And I said, I'm going to use this as my inspiration for tonight's card. And I say inspiration, but it's kind of copying. I've done a few things different, but it is kind of copying. I did have that embossing folder, the corrugated cardboard, but this was already embossed, so I used this one. Okay, so I'm starting with the base. So my card's going to open this way, a little bit different than Judi's. Judi's card opens this way. Sometimes it's just nice. She has beautiful penmanship. She wrote something really nice too, but that's a little personal, so I'm going to keep that a secret. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put down, I'm going to use a very thin border of my black. And I'm going to layer that up like that. I wish, let me get a little closer now. Let me see if I can. Hopefully you can see better now. Let me get some glue and put that in. Okay. So this is the first layer. And I very, very rarely do 1/8. I always do 1/4. This one I did is 1/8, but it's pretty rare because it takes me a lot longer to cut on the eighth mark than it does on the quarter mark. So I'm a big using of the quarter. Notice how much glue I'm using when I'm gluing down an embossed piece of paper. You need to be generous with the glue because there's a lot of texture there. All right, so that's crooked. So let me see if I can get it to be a little straighter. One moment. You guys, I'm not exaggerating when I talk about already prepping for craft sticks and chocolates. I know I'm digressing, but I spent, I don't know how many hours on Saturday prepping for one project for this event. And it's only June and I'm already prepping, and I'm not exaggerating. And so is Karen. I mean, it does take us months and months and months to prep for our event, which we love doing. But I just want you to know that I'm not kidding when I talk about how much in advance we prep. And then I talk about it because I'm prepping, so it's on my mind. Okay, this is the same way. This is the same one. I did it. This is another reason why I don't do a lot of 1/8 borders, because you don't get a lot of grace with it. Let me see if this is going to be. Yeah, this is all right because I'm going to cover some of that up. And then this is going to go another 5-minute card. Sorry. Let me talk about the measurements so I can at least spread it out a little bit. Let me put that there. Okay, so you started with the card base, 8.5 by 11, cut in half and scored. And then this is, I normally do the black one at 4 by 5 1/4. This is 4 and 1/8 by 5 and something. Yeah, I can't even do the math. So I just, that's going to bug me. I got to fix that. I don't know if you can catch it on camera, but this is not even to all the rest of them. So I'm just going to trim it up a little bit. I really can't tell if you can tell on camera or not, but I can tell. It drives me crazy. And I'm going to send this card to a good friend of mine. So I kind of don't want it to I would like it to be balanced. Okay. So basically I'm just taking a 3.5 inch. Let me see if it's 3.5 or if it's 3 inch. It can be anything. It doesn't matter. Yeah, this is a 3-inch. So I'm just basically taking a 3-inch piece of square scrap paper and making this card. And I'm using Judi as my inspiration. So Judi used the Everyday Arches dies, which are still on back order, but they will be in at the end of this month. And I used the smallest one. For my happy birthday on this that I already cut out, I used the Addressed to You stamp set, and I used the happy birthday to do that. And I put dimensionals on the back. So once again, another 2-second card by Trish, inspired by Judi. Because why? Because simple is beautiful. And the most important thing is we get cards made and we get them in the mail. How easy is that? Now, you guys, you must have thousands of 3-inch squares of designer series paper sitting on your desk that you can make this card with. And you can do this for any occasion. This could be a beautiful sympathy card, depending on what you choose for your DSP. And there's so much beautiful, beautiful DSP out there. I know you have it in your stashes. I know we have more DSP coming out. That's going to be so pretty. So let me see. Who is on that I've not greeted yet? Miss Judi and Kelly. Who's grumbling? So that must be a code word for somebody. And I don't know what it is. Thank you, Mary. Thanks, Angela. Yes, I am just a huge proponent of making cards and getting them in the mail. So they don't have to be multiple millions of layers. They just need to be from your heart. And for me, this kind of a card comes right from my heart. It's very simple. I put on the bow with the glue dot. It'll just, go through the mail without a problem. And then I have a very dear friend who has a birthday coming up in 2 weeks, and I want to make sure I get something in the mail for her tomorrow. So I'm kind of double dipping on this card tonight. So simple, simple, simple. But the point of it is to get it in the mail. I just noticed that let me see if I can get this not to be crooked. Okay. It's hard when I'm doing my cards. I can't be over my cards because of my camera. So sometimes the stuff will come out a little crooked, and then I hold it up and I think, ooh, that's crooked. I got to fix that. So dig through your stash, grab out. And if you don't want to do the 1/8 layers, just don't worry about it. Just do the 1/4 inch. So if I was doing it in my normal pattern, my card would be 4 1/4 by 5. My black layer would be 4 by 5 1/4. My white layer would be 3 3/4 by 5. So that's the measurements that I would normally do. I don't even know what they are when they're in the 8s because I can never remember. And then this would be 3 inches square, and this would be 3 1/4 inch square. So that's just the regular measurements that I normally do. And you can do that and it will be just as pretty. So there's nothing magical about the measurements. Let me see what Judi did. Yeah, see, Judi did the 1/4 inch. She did the 1/4 inch, normal, pretty, beautiful border. So my inspiration, my card. I'm so thankful that Judi sent me that card. I've loved that pattern, and I thought this is a perfect night to share it. I'm going to come in a little bit closer so that hopefully you guys can see it. Let me see if it needs to come in, and there we go. And hopefully it will. The way those flowers are, you guys, they literally look 3-dimensional on the paper. They literally do. All right. That is my card for the night. Super easy. Another quick card by Trish. Trish's Quick Cards. And maybe I should change my slogan. Around here, we make it and we mail it. So that I want to get you guys to get some stuff in the mail. Take advantage of the free shipping that's coming up later on in the week. I'll try to post on my Facebook page just to give you guys a reminder. But free shipping saves you 11% on your orders, and that's a really good deal. And it's super easy to get a $75 order together, because we have some beautiful products that you can purchase. Like our bundles and stuff are really pretty. Judi, thank you. You brought up a really good point. Judi said she loved this paper. This DSP I had used and said it was discontinued. It was retired, but it's not retired. It's current. Let me see if I can find the name for you real quick. I may or may not be able to. Yes, Lovely Blossoms is the name of this paper. And it was actually Karen that helped me realize that it's not retired. And it was too late. I already had finished my video, but it is beautiful paper. You see all the different patterns. And that's the one that I had used when I did that funky cut with the 6x6 paper. which I love that card. And so this is beautiful. This is really pretty. Actually, speaking of this card, let me show you what I did, you guys. I'll give you a little sneak peek of 2 other cards that I made. I needed to make some guide cards for thank yous. And I don't really have any masculine DSP, which I've corrected by placing an order. But I needed to make, so I used that stamp set and I made these 2 cards. Now, I mean, they're not really, this is going to be the one I'm going to end up sending. Just kudos to Karen for helping me with choices of colors and paper and stuff. This is the one I'm sending to a professional, very successful business person as a thank you. But I would send this one too. I don't think this is too girly. I think that the leaves kind of mute the flowers, and it's really, really pretty. And that's all on that same paper. So I worked on that this past weekend. So I wanted just to show you that. So who knows what'll come up on the video now for my cards, but that's all from the Lovely Blossoms 12 by 12 Designer Series paper, which has so many pretty pieces to it. One thing that's in it that Stampin' Up! Does every once in a while. So I just have a half a sheet, but see how you get, because my camera's, hang on, close your eyes, you guys, close your eyes. Okay. I'm going to mess up. So I'll fix it in a minute. So you get like 6, I just have half a sheet. So you'd get 3 more of these. And then you also have a sheet that looks like this. So even just buying this paper and not even buying anything else, you have all these other pieces. You can make beautiful, beautiful cards with this paper. So it's really beautiful. And like I said, this was a scrap on my desk after making those cards that I got inspired by Judi. So I wanted to say thanks again to Judi. And I'm going to see if I can make it a little bigger. And then come out here. All right. I have talked enough. Have I missed anything? Thanks, you guys, for your sweet compliments. I appreciate it. I hope everybody has a really good week coming up. I'll be here next week. It will be June something. I can't read the date from here. Let's see. What's today's date? The 8th? I think today's the 8th. So it'll be the 15th. I think that's the right date. I'll be here with another card, maybe something a little stepped up. I don't know. I never know what's going to inspire me between now and then. I hope you guys have a good week. I love you guys. I miss you guys, and I'll see you in a week. Thanks, everybody. Bye now.